Welcome back to Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and joined by J. Mark Walker,
Mr. Alan Yurick, Prince Nair,
joined by business coach, action coach, CEO and co-founder of Axiom Franchise Advisors, and I'm joined by PR expert, Mr. Mark Weisbrod, venture catalyst, Russell Fair, J. Cap, Chris Spears.
We're always looking for ways to build bridges of trust, build bridges of relationship.
Hi, welcome back to Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and I'm joined by very special guest, CEO of Carceron, Chad Massaker. And I want to point out, Chad is a good friend of mine here at Blank Stage, has taken several improv classes with us, and real excited to have you on here as a guest. And also, Chad is a resource for a lot of other business owners. Chad was one of the first people that introduced me to several people in this area and that I got to know, and has really helped my company thrive in this local area. So we're going to talk a little bit later about some of your tips on being a resource for other people, but I want to jump into Carceron and particularly your managed IT expertise. And for those of us who may not know what managed IT is, can you kind of shed some light on what you do here?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Managed IT services is kind of it's not really new, but it's an emerging support model. Basically, it's newer in the Atlanta market than other markets, and really simply put, it's providing a service, IT related, for a flat fee. And in most cases, most people feel that it's centered around help desk and support related activities. You've got managed HR services like PEO companies, managed marketing services now, and now there's managed IT. It's basically flat fee service, flat fee support.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a little naive when it comes to your area. I don't know if I represent a lot of our viewers. Are you going to, say hypothetically you came to our studio and you managed our computers, would you kind of do the generic, like fixing up the computers, getting them rid of any kind of viruses or junk that's on there, and then kind of, would that be part of your service as well, or?
Yeah, we kind of follow, a lot of the MSPs, managed services providers in our industry, kind of follow a same general trend. We'll come out and do an initial needs assessment. From there, we generally will do a site evaluation and create what's called a stabilization plan. And the stabilization plan is derived from data in the site evaluation, where we figure out what's wrong with the network, what's wrong with the computers, if anything, get it up to speed, and then once stabilized, we put you in our managed services agreement to keep it stabilized and keep it running full time without any incident.
That's interesting. So, explain to me if I were a client of Carceron, so I think I get it. You would come to our studio, kind of assess our network, and then kind of streamline everything. Would you kind of connect our computers or manage the data? Would you give us strategic advice on ways we can manage our internal file system? Does that make sense, maybe?
Yeah, there's like most other managed services providers, we're full service, so we can design, install, and maintain the network. So the service offering, if the IT company is a true managed services provider, they're going to be able to handle everything from design and installation, and once you're in the agreement, level 1 help desk support, like, hey, I can't print, all the way up to, oh my gosh, the server's down, and even past that, strategic IT consulting, whether it's centered on competitive advantage or finding a unique solution for a unique problem that you might have. It really is meant to be. What I tell my people in our company is that the way the look and feel of Carceron is supposed to be is that if you have an IT person on staff, that we replace that it really should look and feel as if we are one person, that one IT person that you have on staff, that we're that go-to resource for everything.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you speak to the secretary, like you said, where's the any key? Where's the any key to the major catastrophes? Do you focus on preventative maintenance for, like, say, the internet or data backup? Like, say if we had some, like, for example, here we have a lot of content, video files, and information that is important to us. Can you walk me through that process?
Prevention and proactivity are key. They're the key to any managed services, any managed service provider's offering. So generally, a true MSP is going to have monitoring It's going to have proactive maintenance and support built in. It's going to have security built in. The model is really built around, because it's flat fee, because we don't charge by the hour, the model is really built around best practices and doing things right the first time, because the more you call or the more you email for support, it sounds horrible to say it, the more money I lose as an MSP. It's almost kind of like insurance. So it's in our best interest as a managed services provider to make sure that you don't call or email about things that are well within our control to prevent.
Mm-hmm. So the insurance policy, the kind of analogy you made about the insurance policy is, my insurance company wants to make sure that I'm healthy. They want to do things to prevent the accidents, that kind of thing. So in that analogy, you would come into a business and do everything you can to prevent a problem and really streamline the workflow within that company, versus being so dependent on the IT guy or the in-house service, it sounds like. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, what we really want to deal with, the most of the stuff that we're going to deal with are generally going to be just little level 1 help desk issues, and it's usually end users who may not be as tech savvy, trying to navigate their way around an Office application or want to know how to do something. It's rarely going to be an actual technical bug fix issue. It's generally very light stuff, and all the big stuff, just, I hate to say it, but it just doesn't happen. We don't really have those problems, because we have offsite backups. Business continuity and disaster recovery is very big to us. We consider it mission critical to the enterprise, and they have to have some kind of offsite backup. So everything is about uptime, and we believe that your IT should be like a utility. When you turn on the light switch, you kind of take that for granted, you take for granted that the light's going to come on. We feel that computing really should be the same way, that you should be able to take your network for granted to do the basic things that you do every day. You shouldn't have to tolerate not even so much as a half an hour of downtime. It's just, you shouldn't.
We have a business to operate,
right,
not a computer to operate. Walk me through, if I were a client, or if a client, is it something where you would come in, or one of your staff would come in, and if I had a problem and called you, I guess what I'm trying to say is, how visual are you in the company? Do you come every day, or do you just usually remote fix problems and get everybody so streamlined that you don't need to make an appearance?
Yeah, it depends on the managed services provider. There are some plans that I've seen where they tell you that a technician is going to come out once a week or once a month or once a quarter, and honestly, we don't build that into our program. The idea is that this is a very IT support and computing now is very commoditized. We haven't really seen anything out there that's so new that we can't fix it the same way we fix everybody else's network. So in those regards, on support-related issues, we don't need to send somebody on site, because we have the ability to remotely control everything from our network operations center. So the reasons that we are going to go on site are generally myself or my Chief Technology Officer, Jeffrey, will go on site, and it's generally more strategic meetings. Maybe they want to have lay out a kind of a technology blueprint for the year, or they want us to sit in with them on with another vendor who's trying to pitch them a software application that's going to do something for their business. But as far as a dedicated on-site once-a-month meeting goes, we don't need to be there, because everything works.
Everything works.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Before we end this segment, network, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around when you say we'll fix your network. Does that mean if I have more than 2 computers, I have a network, or does that mean in order to have a network, I have to have 2 computers communicate with each other, or does that mean I have 3 computers here? Is that a network? Does that make sense? Like, I'm just kind of hazy. That's
a great question. I mean, technically speaking, you have a network anytime you plug in one of those patch 5 or Cat 5 patch cables. If you're connected to the internet, you're on a network. That's a network.
Okay.
For the purposes of a managed services provider, most of the MSPs, we generally will not take as a client a business with with fewer than 10 computers. It's generally not cost effective for us to do that, and it's also more cost effective for the client to use like a one-man IT services shop. So in that case, a network, really what we define as a minimum supportable network for a client would be 10 computers, at least 1 server, or ready to buy the first one, and really get things centralized and under control. So the server, the firewall, the workstations, they all comprise the network, the infrastructure.
Okay, good. I was a little bit hazy about that. So, all right, so Chad, we're going to bring you back right back here. We're going to learn how a company can save money by using managed IT. And then we're going to talk a little bit later with Chad about some tips that you will share with us on how we can thrive in this economy, and not just with managed IT, but we're going to tap into Chad's networking mind here in just a little bit.